Alright, guys, what's up? It's time to talk about Bleach.
Bleach.
Fucking Bleach. Alright.
Oh man. So first things first, for all you people out there who was hoping Pernita was gonna pull something else out of his ass. Nope. Unfortunately, he doesn't have an ass to pull anything out of.
No.
Of course, he doesn't have anything anymore because he's dead.
Yeah, thank fuck for that. Alright, it's time to move on.
Yeah, but now the whole thing is it looks as if, well, thankfully, Mayuri has, a way to prevent himself from dying because I guess he was injured and somehow he already knows how he's going to regenerate Nemhim.
Yeah.
And he shows us these two, like, I guess you could say, like, pod-looking things. You're like, oh. And then he opens them up and you're like, he was able to de-zombify them too.
Uh-huh. I'm sure a lot of you are pissed right now, but I don't really care either way, but whatever.
But the good news is that he not only put himself with Nemu's brain in one, which is kind of weird, especially with the imagery of like her looking naked and like floating towards him like a like a lover's dream or something.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. But the other one he put Kenpachi in, which means Kenpachi versus the Miracle can still happen.
Yeah, it's definitely likely at this point, but
who knows how long that'll be.
Who knows how long, how many fights will go down before this will happen.
Because, if Mayuri versus Pernita was that long, I can only imagine what, the future fights will have.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I remember correctly, it sounded like this one that this Quincy we're focusing on, which was
X-axis.
X-axis. Is he the one with the sniper? He was the sniper gun guy. It sounded like he has taken out quite a few people.
Yeah.
From the dialogue, which was kind of weird. Because I'm like, wait, he just straight up killed people off screen.
Who did he shoot?
He shot the one guy who had that looked like a tattoo across his nose.
Ah, yes, he shot Hisagi. That's what it was.
And we saw him preparing to shoot him, and it pierced him. We weren't sure whether or not he was dead or not. And then we cut away for the Pernita fight, and now we come back, and all we know is that he's supposedly taking out a bunch of the vice captains, or at least the vice captain's safety is up for concern.
Right.
But of course, I guess you could say the main characters get protection for now, which is Rukia and Renji.
Yeah, for now.
Because they get the special treatment of being close enough to the main characters to have some form of plot armor for now.
Okay. Yeah. So I think this matchup is very interesting. X-axis versus all of a sudden now Kyoraku. Yeah.
Kyoraku, yeah.
It's a good matchup because we have almost like this absolute piercing ability, but all of a sudden now it's not playing by his rules. Now you have to play by the Shikai's rules and perhaps the Bankai's rules.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen his Bankai yet either.
Nope.
Jesus. What was it? If I remember correctly, how many people were in his top gang? In Yuha's top gang?
Are you talking about his Royal Guard?
His Royal Guard?
Well, we had the Miracle, we had X-axis, we had Askin, we had Pernita, and there was the Wind, who got killed by Senjumaru. I don't know if I don't think he came back when they got resurrected. I think there was one more.
And then, what was it? The man, his right hand guy.
Oh yeah, Haschwald.
Haschwald.
Uryu. Which is 7.
So that's 7 people. One's already dead, so that's 6. Or is that including the one who was killed by Senji?
Yeah.
So then
that's 5.
So with Senji's opponent defeated and Pernita defeated, that's down to 5 right hand people under Yuha left.
Mm-hmm.
But Uryu could still turn on Yuha. So in essence, that means there's really 4 guaranteed fights against, his underlings.
Right.
Which means, and if Karaku takes out X-Axis, that leaves only 3.
Hmm. Maybe somebody for Kisuke to beat with his unrevealed Bankai so far.
And like I said earlier, there's no way, like, Kenpachi seems so perfect to fight the Miracle.
Yeah.
You know what? But and obviously we know now how they're gonna progress based on the fact it looks like we're obviously everyone except oh god, I hate when this happens. But I always sit there and I'm sitting there. This is why I don't like Bleach names in Bleach. They're so hard to remember. But it'll be down to once I already know that his right hand man's going to be his last guy.
Okay.
Because the other ones are the only ones who actually left the tower.
Yeah, Hoshfald will be
Yeah, there you go, Hoshfald. So when he gets, all the others will be defeated, and Uryu will, of course, have turned on him.
Mm-hmm. Or something.
I don't think he's not dead.
No.
He's not going to die
Unless
Yuha kills him.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
And then they'll have to fight. It'll be like a battle against Hoshfald.
Mm-hmm.
And then like some type of combined effort against Yuha for a bit. Because I mean, we still have only 2 pieces. We only have of the Soul King that have yet to come into play. One was a part of the Shikigami, which was the right hand.
Mm-hmm.
The left hand was was with the Quincy's, so that leaves only 2 pieces, the 2 legs. One which could be with the humans, and the other one might be with the Hollow.
Right.
Which, and I believe I said this in a previous review, that the one that's with the Hollows might be the Hogekyu.
Mm-hmm.
Which is now inside Aizen, which means Aizen would have a piece.
Right.
And as for the piece that belongs to the humans, I want to say
probably Ichigo.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, you got to remember that Ichigo is technically, if you look at his history, he's technically 50% Quincy, 50% Shikigami. So, which doesn't actually really make sense since Shikigami. We have to all see. That's the one thing that I think Kubo keeps forgetting. They're supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
Like these are like spirits, and yet Ichigo's father was able to have a kid with a Quincy.
Well, I assume because of the Gi guys, they're allowed to.
But I'm just saying, it's like,
yeah.
And so then even a Gi guy isn't really technically human. So if you look at it that way, he's technically 50% Gi guy.
I guess.
But anyway, so I mean, Ichigo is the obvious answer because technically he's human, and also he's the main character.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I feel like he's gonna troll us, and it's gonna be one of the other ones, like maybe one of the Fullbringers. God.
Oh God. As long as if it's Tsukishima, I could deal with it, but anybody else, no.
Well, I mean, but Tsukishima's dead, so the piece would have left him.
True.
So most likely, it would probably be, and this would be even more hilarity. Watch it be Orihime. Well, I mean, she has pretty broken powers when you think about it.
That would make a lot of sense if it was Orihime, just for the sole fact that her powers are so broken that it would make sense that it came from the Soul King himself.
Yeah.
It's just she can't manifest the powers because she doesn't know about them, like, to that extent.
And then she's going to just pull out some even more OP shit when she discovers her powers.
Yes.
The true form of her powers.
Yeah, Yuhabak, I reject your very existence. Goodbye.
Nah, because now, since the other question we have to ask about Yuha is why would he... we still, like, the whole thing with Pernida, we still don't know fully well, like, why did Pernida sign with the Quincy's? And why didn't Yuha Bak just absorb Pernida?
Right.
Would Pernida then, in turn, activate its ability on Yuha, even though Yuha would try and absorb him?
Yeah. I
It's kind of odd.
Yeah, it is odd. I mean, I guess it makes some sort of sense because he wanted to keep Pernita at that point
Well,
just for his own uses. Maybe absorb him later.
maybe, well, probably, because you know what? I guess when you think about it, so far from what we've seen, obviously we can't tell with the others because we haven't seen their fights yet. But Pernida might have the most broken of the ability of the all of the Quincy's. So you figure, all right, if everyone else fails, at least I have Pernida who won't be able to fail.
Uh huh.
But he could never have predicted Mayuri.
Yeah. Well, you were wrong.
So the fact that we finally got closure on the, or we finally ended the Pernida fight and are moving on to a far more interesting fight, in my opinion. I would have to definitely give this chapter a good plus or whatever.
Yeah, this was a very good chapter. I think it progressed the plot and had some very interesting like bits to it. So hell yeah, man. Good job, Kubo. Keep up.
Unless he trolls us again and next week we get back to boring stuff.
Yeah, please no.